Hey friends, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all things knitting, crocheting, occasionally cross stitch, and for the month of October, all things Halloween essentially. So right now I am doing Vlogtober, if you can't tell, where every week I am posting an update slash vlog about things that I got up to during the week with a lot of Halloween touches. This is, being that it's Halloween, my final episode of Vlogtober, so I hope you enjoy, what you're about to see. But before we get into my actual vlog for the week, let's talk about what I have been working on. The first thing I want to talk about and show off is the fact that I finished my Wizardy socks using 3 by the Seas Grim Grinning Ghost mystery sock set for Halloween. It is, of course, Haunted Mansion themed. If you haven't been able to tell from all of my episodes that I've been putting out, I really do love the Haunted Mansion, mostly the ride, but also the movie that came out. I thought it was really cute. If you haven't seen it, you should. But this is how these socks turned out. They are so wonderfully squishy. I'm honestly kind of surprised I was able to finish them given everything that's been going on, and you'll see why. I worked on these pretty much every morning before work, and then on Sunday, which was after our Halloween party, and we didn't do anything. I worked on, I don't remember which sock it was, but I essentially finished the heel and knit the entire foot of the sock on Sunday to make sure that I got it done in time for the end of the Baker Bears Sockoween event on Halloween. So I did. That means I finished 2 pairs of Sockoween socks, and I'm really excited about them. They are, again, super comfy, super fun. I'm going to wear them today. I have to give a pretty big presentation to my CMO and all of his directs, so essentially a leadership presentation, and I need good luck because I have to do this stuff pretty frequently, but I hate it. So I always like to have a little good luck charm, and so maybe this will be it. So since I finished those socks, I got back to work on the Christmas gift for my mother-in-law, also out of 3 by the Sea Designs yarn. This one is called Lily Pond, and I think I've said this before, but I'm pretty sure it's based on Monet's water lilies. At least it looks like it, with all the beautiful, gorgeous colors. I'm kind of sad to give these away now too. Every time I make a pair of socks, I get really sad to give them away because I like the way that they turned out, but I'll survive. It'll be fine. So these should be finished in short order, which is good because I have some cross stitching that I need to finish as a Christmas gift for my parents, and I really need to start hustling on getting all my Christmas gifts finished. Most of them are, but if I move forward with making the towel toppers that I want to make, those are a time investment, and I'm kind of regretting committing myself to doing those because I'm hating the entire process, but that's fine. Anyway, these are the socks that I'm working on. I'm using my little Beetlejuice Progress Keeper from Charmed and Dangerous because it's still Halloween, so it's still the season, and I really enjoy how it's coming out. This is the first sock, so again, not very far, but now that the other socks are done, I should be able to make this my morning project and whip through them pretty quickly. The only other thing that I was able to work on in the past week was my Haunted Mansion blanket, and this is made from the Haunted Mansion Advent minis from Fangirl Fibers, and right now it kind of looks like a baby blanket with all of the different pastels, but I promise you, if you have been watching, then you already know that the yarn gets darker as we go along. I think this pattern is lending itself really well to the yarn. It's making it really squishy, and it feels like it's soft and squishy to begin with, so probably wasn't even an issue. But I don't know, it's really nice to work with. I haven't worked a lot with Fangirl Fibers yarn in the past, so this is really my first experience, and I will say that it has been a delight. And I am also using my needle stoppers that I got from Super Glow Fiber with her Halloween yarn, and I am loving them. So they're just kind of hanging out. I will need one for every holiday now, multiple ones for every holiday. So it's definitely swayed me into needing to buy more. But yeah, so this pattern is called Lily's Scrap Blanket, and it's meant to be knit with scraps, so it looks a little bit more like random and not as neatly striped. But I've seen a lot of people knitting this lately, actually, which was kind of weird that I found it on my own on Ravelry, and other people are knitting it as well on my Instagram feed. So apparently a lot of people like it. It is a nice pattern. It's relatively mindless. So it's been nice to work on at night when I need to de-stress after work. So yeah, that is sadly it for everything that I've worked on this week. A lot of my time was spent on getting work done for that CMO presentation, as well as getting the house ready for our party. So you will see that. Without further ado, let's get into my vlog for the week so you can see what all we got up to. Well, folks, another week begins, and actually it is the last week of Vlogtober, if you can believe it. This is the finale. I personally can't believe it. This month went super quick. Maybe it's because I have this medium stress presentation to my CMO and all his direct reports that is making this time fly by, but regardless, we're here. Of course, it is not Vlogtober without me opening my Haunted Mansion mini every day. This one is called the Hallway Night, and I don't know if you know this, but, and I could be totally wrong here, just pulling this out of my butt, who knows, but I think the Hallway Night was originally supposed to be an actual person who kind of jumped out at you on the ride. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely on YouTube if you want to look that up. Rounding out my morning minis is, of course, my Little Wolf Knits Edward Scissorhands Advent, or whatever. I'm just going to keep saying that. And this one is called Snowfall, which is, if it's the scene I'm thinking about, it's one of my favorite, most aesthetic scenes in the movie. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And it's this lovely, mostly ivory, I guess, like natural ivory yarn color with hints of green. Absolutely gorgeous. By now, you will have seen my Halloween costume, so it should come as no surprise that we saved some of our Halloween favorites for the last week of the month, starting with the Addams Family. This is, and has always been, one of my favorite Halloween movies since I was a kid. I think it's when I first realized that I'm potentially in love with Christina Ricci, as we should all be. And I, of course, went as Wednesday, but I was obsessed with this movie as a kid. I even had the board game. I have been making it a point to knit on my Haunted Mansion minis blanket whenever we're watching a Halloween movie. It just seems appropriate at the end of the day, right? So I wanted to knit on something a little spooky. It's not that spooky, but I wanted to enjoy my knitting while I've been watching these movies. Well, I guess that was it for Tuesday. I don't know if I'm just getting busier with all the stuff going on at work as usual, or if I'm just getting tired of Vlogtober, which absolutely cannot be the case because I'm enjoying this so much, especially opening new yarn every single day. Today's yarn was this beautiful pink color. There have been some really pretty pinks in this mini series, not a TV show. There have been a lot of really pretty pinks in this series that I think are going to work up really nicely into my blanket. Speak of the devil, i.e. beautiful pinks, wait until you see this gorgeous yarn from my Little Wolf Knits Edward Scissorhands calendar. Look at that. I mean, I guess it's not pink. It's more purpley than it is pink, but it's more of a pinky purple. So look, I'm gonna count it. And it has this gorgeous bluey purple with it, and I really love those colors together. While I worked on my Haunted Mansion blanket, I watched this movie on my laptop. I want to say it was Ouija. I don't even remember what it was about, nor do I care to go look. So suffice it to say, do not add this to your list. Wow, we are just blowing through this week, aren't we? I literally have done nothing but work, I guess. But hey, at least you get to watch me put stickers on a thing that is probably super entertaining, I'm sure, very productive. I have been decent about doing my daily tarot card pull. It is kind of difficult for me to keep up with, especially when I get busy or stressed out. It's like the last thing that I want to do. But I have found that it's been giving me some interesting insights over these past few weeks, especially when I went to pull a card today and got the 8 of Swords. So essentially what this means is victim mentality. And that is something that I have maybe been feeling at work. I have felt like maybe a bit of a prisoner in my current situation where I'm just working all the time, but I also know that there are ways out of it if I take a step back. So this was a really good draw for me today. Today's Haunted Mansion mini was based off a photo that I know and love, but never really knew the name of, and that is the Quicksand Men. So this is one of the paintings that you can find in the Haunted Mansion, and I believe it's in the room that stretches, so all of the paintings stretch with it. And the color for this one is just beautiful. It's grays, blues, and silvers. Not to be outdone is a beautiful little mini seems redundant, but that's fine, from Little Wolf Knits. I don't know what she's doing, but Brianna is speaking my name with her yarns lately. There have been just such beautiful colorways in this mini set. A lot of beautiful pinks and combinations of pinks with other colors. I'm loving it. It can be difficult for me to attend all of the virtual events that pop up on my feed every day, but I couldn't resist going to this Love in Stitches member event where we talked about how to get all of our whips off our needles before the end of the quarter. So that is now my plan. I also just so happen to need to wind another ball of yarn for my Haunted Mansion blanket, and for these minis, the 8 to 10 gram ones, I have just been winding them by hand. It doesn't take very long, and in some ways it's just kind of mindless and relaxing, so it's been making sense to me to hand wind them while I'm watching one of our movies or attending one of these live events. So weirdly, this has been fun for me. Finally, the weekend is here. I actually took Friday off to prepare for a Halloween party that was on Saturday. You know, the house was a mess and definitely needed to be cleaned, so might as well. Even though I was maybe a little busy, and by a little busy I mean a lot busy, I found time to do my daily tarot draw, and that was the 4 of Wands. It couldn't have come at a better time, honestly. It seems like a really good card to pull when you're heading into a weekend when all of your friends are coming over and dressing up as their favorite characters and having a fun party. Honestly, especially since I feel like I have been taking the time to focus on the joy in my life and not go completely crazy with all of the work stuff going on. Also, be proud of me because before I did anything else for the day, I finished up these Halloween towel toppers. I sewed the buttons on and everything, and honestly, they came out kind of cute, if not being a pain in the butt. There came a time during our day while we were getting ready for the party where Scott went to town on the steamer in the hallway. So I went to town opening yarn while I waited for the noise to calm down so I could take over the steamer myself. Today's yarn was another beautiful pink, and again, I keep thinking each and every pink keeps getting better and better, and I'm excited to see what these look like when I get to add them. As usual, or at least for 13 days, I got to open my Little Wolf Knits mini for the day, and this one was called A Gift for You, and it's on the spookier side. I really like this one because it is very, I don't want to say autumnal because it's not necessarily autumnal, but it does look a little creepy, right, with the natural ivory and then the gray with some splatterings of blood, I mean red. All right, we have a very exciting unboxing today. This is the Haunted House cross stitch box from Starlight Stitchery, and I believe what it is a Haunted House cross stitch, obviously, but each of the rooms is designed by a different designer. So when I first heard this was coming out, I kind of knew I needed to have it immediately. I am a huge fan of haunted houses, whole haunted house mystique, the whole haunted house vibe, and with it being Halloween, I couldn't resist. I actually got this yesterday, but with my allergies being what they are, I literally couldn't talk. So I had to wait a whole day to share this with you guys. So let's just dive right in. All right, so here is a list of everything we get. We also get this haunted house playlist on Spotify, so that'll be happening later today while we're decorating for our party tomorrow. I'm not even gonna read this because I just wanna get into things, but I love that they provide the full list. Pumpkin spice black tea. Okay, I found it. I love Plum Deluxe to begin with, but pumpkin spice black tea is going to have to happen as soon as I'm done with this video. Give me something to drink while I'm cleaning up my office for the party and the rest of the house as well, and doing some last minute decorating. This is what it looks like. Can't wait to smell it. I'm sure it's probably gonna smell so good. We've got our tea strainer, of course, can never have enough of these, and this adorable pumpkin spoon. I think I need to leave this out for our party. If you recall, for our anniversary, Scott got me a bunch of foxglove and rue wax scents and candles, and this is actually, through one of these boxes, is where I first heard about them. And we got some more today. This is Dark Corridors, Ghosts, and a Hint of Pumpkin Spice. So it's the haunted house scent. This is what it looks like. Do I use this for the party? Is the party special enough? I think this is gonna look really cool when it starts to melt with all the glitter and stuff in it. So maybe this will happen tomorrow. We've got some spooky stickers. Here's a haunted house in a book. And then here is the haunted house logo that they've been using for the stitch box. I really like that their stitch boxes, I think most of them come, yeah, I'm looking at my sticker wall right now, and most of them come with, or all of them come with stickers that coordinate with the box, so you know which ones you've participated in. Here are threads that we get as part of the box from Forbidden Fiber Company. I love, okay, we'll go to this one first because I think it's hilarious. Arsenic wallpaper. Like, did you guys know that the wallpaper in Victorian times had arsenic in it? I think it was the green wallpaper specifically. Every time I'm reminded of that, I kind of have to laugh at human folly. This one is called Spectre, and it looks like it has like a really nice sheen to it. I don't know why, like maybe a little bit of gray, so it's not like pure white, but I can't really tell on this lighting. Ectoplasmic Aura. Okay, this looks more white. Let's compare. Yeah, so this is more white. This has more of like a silvery hint to it, and then there is more of like a gray one called Velvet Drapes. And last but not least, we have Rusty Nails. Then we have this really cute ghost charm, which I'm really loving because it's a black ghost. Like, it's not your standard like white spooky ghost. I love that it's black. Then we have this linen from Starlight Alchemy. It's called Ghostly. It's 32 count linen. I can't remember if we got to choose our fabric. I want to say yes. but I can't remember. But okay, now I really want to get into this pattern and see what it looks like. And here is the pattern book. These are all of the designers that participated in the book. A lot of these are some of my favorites. Like I really love Noctiflora Designs, Mama Witch Cross Stitch. I think I'm actually in her Patreon. Witchy Stitcher, of course. I think I'm also in her Patreon. So I really love a lot of these designers. So yeah, as I mentioned, each of the pieces of this haunted house are designed by a different designer, of course. And is it too late to just throw everything I'm working on the floor and start on this? I don't need to finish people's Christmas presents, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, who cares? This pattern book is basically just a giant pattern with all the different designs from all the different designers. So I'm not going to go through each and every one because otherwise I'd give away the pattern, but 10 out of 10 would recommend. I love this box already. I have gotten a few of their boxes now and really worth what you pay for them. And I need to figure out when I'm starting this because I have no time ever and I need to find it. In the spirit of serving more food than any amount of humans should eat, Scott got started on smoking his pork for our party on Saturday. It is a relatively long process. I think I've shown you all the smoker that I bought him before, I think over Vlogmas, but he is attached to the hip to this thing and he smokes some really good meats. Last year, I purchased a bunch of these bats to put on a Halloween wreath that I was making, and I didn't know what to do with the rest of them, so I stuck them to our hallway wall for the Halloween party. So of course, I took 2 hours out of my life this year and did the same. They look really cool. You'll see it at the party. Look, all I'm saying is that, is it Halloween if you don't dress your dog up as something to the point that they hate their lives? Ziggy is an octopus this year, or a squid. I forget how you tell the difference. There is a way. And he doesn't usually hate this costume, but it's really funny to watch him run around with all of the little legs flopping behind him, and it's my favorite. For tonight's Halloween movie, I picked up my Grim Grinning Ghost socks because I wanted to work on something Halloween-y, and we watched The Addams Family Values, which I don't know if I would say that I consider it better than the first, but it's definitely up there. Usually sequels are not that great, but I think they did a really good job with setting this one up, developing the characters a little bit more, and it almost makes me wish that they did even more movies. After something like 13, 14, 15 hours on the smoker, it was time to dig into this giant thing of pork, which I can attest tasted really good. Also, the dogs can attest that it tasted really good, or at least the juice. There was so much juice that everybody got to partake. I recently shared in another Vlogtober that I bought these needle protectors, and I just have to say that I really love them. Definitely need to buy more. These skulls are amazing and sparkly, and yeah, love them. Okay, guess what? We made it. It is now the day of the party, and we are not at all ready. We have so many chores to do, but we're gonna be okay. Being a professional procrastinator, I did manage to find time to do my daily tarot draw, and I didn't record this, but I had already pulled this card earlier in the week, so I thought it was an interesting way to tell me that I'm having problems finding work-life balance. Duh. Today's Haunted Mansion mini strayed from the norm that we've been experiencing, and we are now back to blues. And it is a really pretty blue inspired by George Hightower, and it has like this really pretty kind of purple in it here and there, but it's mostly like navies and royal blues, and it's just this really pretty variegation. And I gotta tell you, Little Wolf Knits knocked it out of the park once again for day 28, which is called Is He In There? And the reason I say that is because it was yet again another pink. But like, look at it. It's, you know, kind of like a Barbie pink, but then it has these speckles of like blacks and maybe a little bit of purple, but could also be the black mixing with the pink. I don't know. I really enjoy it. Really loving all of the pinks that are in this Edward Scissorhands calendar. I was both nervous and excited to try this recipe I had found to make for the party. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to make, and for whatever reason I was in the mood to make brownies, and I was like, oh, I wonder if someone has already invented pumpkin spice brownies. And lo and behold, Pinterest did not disappoint. I ended up finding a recipe to make these really delicious pumpkin spice brownies. There's chocolate chips in them, and that's about it. That would seem like a more traditional brownie. Most of the recipe is pumpkin puree and flour, so they're very moist, which I like a good moist brownie, to be honest. It tasted like maybe more dense cake than a brownie, but the chocolate chips added that extra chocolatey flavor that you would expect in a typical brownie. But honestly, they were kind of a huge hit. I would absolutely make them again for another fall gathering. I even got to try out this pan my parents got us, I don't know, a while back. I have no idea when it was, and I'm pretty sure it was my parents, but it essentially makes an all edges brownie. So if you're the type of person that likes your brownie with harder edges, then this pan is for you. Perhaps the best part of the entire experience is when it is time for the taste test. Not good?
Better just save them for us.
Yeah. Well, we have a whole other batch in the oven still.
Party. It's not, I don't want to.
Whatever. Scott was just being selfish and wanted all of the brownies to himself. Luckily, I did double the batch, so we have plenty of leftovers. Unfortunate for my weight. Once I was done with my responsibilities in the kitchen, I'm lucky in that Scott makes most of our party food. It was time for me to start putting on my makeup, which was an hour-and-a-half process. By now, you will have seen on my Instagram that I was Wednesday Addams, and it took a lot of time actually to get ready, mostly because of the whole wig situation, which ended up giving me a massive headache, and I ripped off about an hour into the night, but I thought it looked good. Then I was able to snag some video before everyone came over, so you can see how all of my bats turned out. They are so cool looking. I love them. They're going to be up every year. I also thought that our table decorations came out pretty cool. My parents got me that talking pumpkin, I think it was last Halloween, and it's always a hit. It sings songs, it tells jokes, there are different voices, all that good stuff. Here is the output of all of Scott's food labor. We have so much cheese. It's kind of amazing. He also hung more candles around the house. The ones over the TV have been there for a while, and they had kind of slipped down, so we had to fix those. But we basically had floating candles all over the house, which is really fun. And yeah, I think the decorations came out really well. We got a lot of compliments on them from our friends who don't come over as often and hadn't seen them before. In my opinion, more is more when it comes to Halloween decorations. We also did a photo booth this year, which was really fun. It's just an app on my iPad, and everyone really enjoyed it. We never get pictures of people in their costumes because we get so busy and we're having fun, and it just never happens. So the photo booth proved to be really useful in capturing everyone's costumes for, memory purposes when that's not something that we are able to usually get. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than everything turned out really, really great. And we were excited to have everyone over and show off all of the hard work that we put in. We also had this furry little visitor who just showed up at one point during the party. It was so hot, like it was 80 degrees on Halloween, which makes no sense. So we were all outside trying to cool off. And this little guy just came and made himself overly comfortable. Is this your favorite Halloween party ever? I better not find you on the side of the road tomorrow. Anyway, so we have a new cat now. He waltzed into the house and didn't leave. I posted on Nextdoor, the app, just to see if anyone had lost a cat, and we're taking him to see if he has a chip on Wednesday. But yeah, he lives here now. All in all, a productive party. It's always a productive party when you inherit a cat somehow. So I'll leave you with some photos from the photo booth of just me and Scott. I won't share pictures of our friends, but the photo booth came out really fun. On Sunday, we had essentially just given up on life. I did have a few things I wanted to get done. They did not get done. At least I opened up my yarn, I guess. That was about as productive as things got. And it was this beautiful, I guess it's like a blue color, but it seems like it has hints of like a blackish sort of green tone over it. It's a very lovely kind of haunting blue. And then, of course, I also had Little Wolf Knits, which today's yarn was almost exactly the opposite. So, of course, it's called He's Dead, but it's these very pretty like grays, yellows, and kind of like redsy oranges that looks really cool. It's got like these little speckles on it. I have to say that Brianna did a really good job with this advent. For breakfast, I had the option of 1,000 pumpkin spice brownies. Actually, not that many because people actually ate them. But I ordered Dunkin' Donuts because I really wanted a PSL, and I watched Emily Makes. I've been following her Vlogtober and really been enjoying it. So I recommend that if you're looking for other people to follow. I did also work on my Grim Grinning Go socks with New Cat, who is settling in nicely. I've been on all of the Facebook groups looking for whoever he belongs to with no success. So we're gonna have to figure this out because otherwise we have this stupid cat. But we finally got to watch Hocus Pocus. I was so excited for that. I had been waiting all season to watch it. I like to keep it, I don't know, sometimes I watch it earlier in the season, but as we're coming up on Halloween and Sunday was the last night that Scott didn't work, we decided to watch it then while I worked on my Grim Grinning Ghost socks. I don't think Ziggy had seen it before. He was really entertained by it. I mean, look at him just being all happy and stuff. And of course, we had leftovers. Halloween leftovers are the best. There is so much cheese. It's an absolutely delightful meal. Being that we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, I also made sure to work on my Haunted Mansion blanket while we watched another episode of Goosebumps, which is getting really good. We're still a ways to go, but it's pretty good. Mowgli wanted to let you all know that despite New Cat being around, Mowgli still exists and he is the star of the show, so just wanted to remind you. Monday, I didn't keep track of anything. I I just basically worked all day. I have a big CMO presentation tomorrow, Halloween actually, so I needed to get that presentation done and rehearsed and still making edits as I head into the presentation. But at least I had yarn to open, I suppose, starting with this gorgeous blue again. I've been loving these haunting blues that Fangirl Fibers has come out with. And then I also got to open You Can Still Catch Me from the Edward Scissorhands Advent, which is also a pretty blue color. I think this collection goes really well together because they are all kind of not quite speckly, not quite variegated, but they all have a similar theme. Finally, we have made it, y'all. Today is the day. It is Halloween, which essentially means that it's Christmas. But you know, today is Halloween. I have my CMO presentation with all of his directs, and we finished the sticker calendar. It is so cute. I kind of don't want to get another one because this one is just adorable and I want to hang it up just all year. Or maybe they have a couple different ones. Maybe I get a different one for next year. I don't know. I love the sticker thing, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. I was super excited today to open up my Haunted Mansion minis. We have ended on a black color. So essentially this whole blanket is going to be a rainbow that starts with white and ends in black. Really excited to see how that's going to turn out. And I got to open my big skein of Little Wolf Knits Edward Scissorhands, and it is so pretty. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but I'm not afraid to say it again and be annoying about it. But these colors look so good together. I love them all. Brianna did such a good job with all of this yarn, and now I gotta figure out what to make with this thing. I have no idea. Literally have no idea. Kind of don't care. When I saw that Dragon Horde Yarn was doing an All Hallows Eve cast on box, I couldn't resist. However, having now spent this past weekend organizing all of my yarn, all the new yarn that I've gotten, all my new minis, all of my projects that are still considered whips or unfinished objects, I know I need to calm down. So this is probably, aside from the advents that I will be getting, this is probably my last splurge for a while. But yeah, so this is the All Hallows Eve cast on box, and we're going to dive in and have ourselves some Halloween goodness. I really like the candles that she includes in her Sip and Knit boxes, which I'm not sure if this is considered one of those, but if not, it's very similar. This one's called Halloween Fairies, and it is pumpkin spice scented. So that'll get used all season, all throughout November as well. But I'm definitely going to light this for Halloween. Like I said, I love her candles. The scents are usually, actually all the time, very, very delicious, if I must say so myself. Like, I use them immediately every single time and I burn them all the way down. So I'm a big fan. She very frequently includes cute little matches to go with the candles, and a lot of times they're black. These are Halloween themed and they are so cute. Look, they're like brown and orange, red and yellow, so very autumnal, and I really like that. Okay, first of all, I was literally just thinking that I lose all of my embroidery scissors and could use some new ones, so hooray for that. But also, it looks like she recently got some new stickers or something. I've never seen this one before or had this one included in any of my boxes before, and it's really cute. That is going somewhere fast. You guys, look at these little stitch markers slash progress keepers and how cute and fall-like they are. We have a little cauldron covered in autumn leaves, it looks like, and then a little mushroom and a leaf. These are so adorable. I love the whole cauldron thing, so I'm super into it. And now finally we have our yarn that has been dedicated to open on October 31st. So let's see what it looks like. That's me screaming. I love this. I'm speechless, honestly. This is absolutely gorgeous. So it's called Haunting in Fairyland. It's on her Myth sock base. And this literally screams fall forest, does it not? Very rich, like oranges, browns, a little bit of blues. Like this looks like the color on a lot of like the orange and yellow leaves that you'll find. Like there's actually like this hint of this tone. Like she captured it just absolutely perfectly. And then of course this maroon. This is what our trees should look like this time of year, but they don't, because it is 81 degrees today in October in southeast Pennsylvania. We are so far above the Mason-Dixon line that it should actually be snowing today, but it's not. This reminds me of what fall should look like, you know, before the earth started dying. And I don't know, I mean, obviously it's going to be socks, definitely going to be socks, but I'm going to have to find the perfect pattern, like maybe a leaf sock pattern, like a pattern that has lace leaves on it or something like that would be really pretty. I don't know. I'm just blown away once again by her boxes. So here's everything that we got. Just another quick look. Definitely perfect for some cozy Halloween knitting, if I do say so myself. Really hoping that I'm able to get to this on Halloween. It's either going to be this or some more knitting on my Haunted Mansion blanket while watching a spooky movie. And by spooky, I mean Hocus Pocus. But again, I always rave about her boxes. She does such an amazing job, and you should definitely, if you have the means to do so, you should definitely check them out someday because they are just so perfect. So Halloween is basically over in my neck of the woods. I don't think I've mentioned this anywhere else on these vlogs, but my area does trick-or-treat night the weekend before Halloween, and I kind of understand the idea behind it. It ensures that trick-or-treat is only between certain hours, usually when it's still daylight out, and then people are aware when the kids are trick-or-treating so that if they're driving around, they are paying more attention and, you know, don't run your kids over, basically. Halloween is basically done, which means that it is now time to focus on bigger and better things. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do really love Halloween, but it's Christmas time now. So I recently signed up for the Jingle Ball. And if you're not aware of what the Jingle Ball is, it is a virtual event the first weekend of December run by Lindy Stitches. And I went last year. It was really fun. I didn't take a class last year though, but I did sign up for a class this year. It is a cross-stitching event. I'm not sure if I actually said that, but it is a cross-stitching event where you can take cross-stitching classes, and there are Zoom rooms where you can hop on and talk to fellow crafters and things like that. So this year I decided to sign up for the event again, but also to take a class, this time with Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So they sent us this cute little postcard as part of the kit. It has my name on it. So cute. And then I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a little bookmark. That's really cute. So I'm not sure if this is going to be used in the project at all, but if it's not, definitely using this in one of my Christmas books. Then look at this cute little, I think it's a sticker. Look at that. Oh, it's so cute. Who is excited to switch from pumpkin spice to gingerbread coffee? I know I am. Then we got this little needle minder that looks like what the pattern will be. So when we signed up for the class, we already got emails containing the pattern, the supply list. We are using our own threads because there are a variety of different ways that you can cross stitch this pattern in a bunch of different colors. So we're providing the threads. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery provided everything else for the class. More cute little stickers. There's this little candle. There is a gingerbread man and a really cute poinsettia stamp. So if you aren't aware of what this cross stitch pattern is actually going to be, it's going to be a cross stitch looking kind of stamp with 3 candles on it. So it looks very adventy and it's really cute. So that's why everything in here, I'm assuming, is relatively candle themed. And we're going to learn how to finish it off. And so the reason I wanted to take this class in particular is because I do a lot of cross stitching, but I have no idea how to finish off my projects. So I figured if I'm going to get the kit with basically everything in it, then I can stitch up the project and attend the class and learn how to properly finish off these items so that when I cross stitch gifts for my friends and family in the future, I have some options. But the way that this is going to get finished off is going to make it look more like a stamp, I believe. So that's why we have this border that looks like snow slash, I'm assuming, stamped edges. We have our cardboard that I believe we mount the fabric to. We have the fabric that I believe is used as a background. I'll have to look at the picture again, but I think the fabric is used as a background for the finished piece in the end. And then we also get the linen. I think they also had Ada kits. I prefer stitching on linen because I hate myself and it looks really cute. So I'm excited. I need to pick out which colors I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just do the traditional color. This is from Picture This Plus. Oh, it's casual. I mean, casual is linen, but you know, whatever. 28 count. And that's it. So I've got my kit ready to go. Let's not crease the fabric where I don't need to, Miss Jen. Put that in there. So it comes with everything you need except for the threads because you can customize the colors for this project. So some cute little extras in here. I'm really excited. Like I said, I had a really good time last year. They had Christmas music, they had skits, they have Meet the Designer events. So you can pop into rooms and talk with various designers like Satsuma Street, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, etc. And I don't know, I would recommend this event, especially in the first weekend of December when you're putting up Christmas decorations and you want to sit down and relax and get some stitching in. This is a fun little way to do that. At this point, my work day is over and I just want to relax with some knitting and maybe some spooky movies or YouTube or something to that effect. And of course, the last thing that I want to do is leave Vlogtober off on a note about Christmas. So in the meantime, here is some video of me winding yarn for my Haunted Mansion blanket so I can sign off on Vlogtober for this year. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will hopefully be back again next year. Definitely be back for a Vlogmas. I think this stuff is so fun and it's cool to watch back after a certain amount of time. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely see you guys again. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed everything that you saw. Our Halloween party went really, really well. I really liked my costume, except for the fact the wig gave me a massive headache and I had to come upstairs and just A, rip off the wig and then B, just sit there without a headache for a few minutes before I was able to go downstairs and like function as a human being should. I don't usually have that problem with wigs, so I don't know. I had a headache all day and the wig just made it worse, and like literally as soon as I took it off, the headache was gone. So I don't know what that was about. But other than that, the party went really well. We at least temporarily have a new cat. We'll find out tomorrow if he's chipped and if he has a mommy. I've been trying not to get too attached to him in the meantime because you know how that works. So there's new cat. I finished book 5 of the Vampire Knitting Club this morning. So really enjoyed that, still enjoying that series. So I'm about to start book 6 again. I had a bunch of Audible credits. The first 3 or 4 books were included with Kindle Unlimited on Audible. So I was able to get those for relatively free. But then I had a bunch of Audible credits that I just hadn't been using. So I spent them all on getting the rest of the series. So now I have book 6 and going to start that probably tonight. And I'm still reading In Defense of Witches. I think I said last week that it is a pretty dense read. It's a short book. It's only like 260 some pages. So you'd think you'd be able to blow through it, but it's pretty jam-packed with information and pretty dense. And with the way that work has been going and all the stuff we've been doing for the house for Halloween, I've just been tired. And so I've maybe only been getting like 5 to 10 pages done a night when I've been able to read. So that's still going strong. My next book will probably be Matthew Perry's book. We were in the middle of our Halloween party when I got an alert that Matthew Perry from Friends had died, and I literally just like sat there stunned and screamed. You know, it was a Halloween party, so no one thought anything of it, but I was like, no, like Chandler died. And that kind of brought things down for a good 10, 15 minutes or so. But I do want to read his book. I got it for Christmas from my in-laws last year, and I just didn't get a chance to read it. And he was about to go on tour for his book when he unfortunately passed away. So I think my next book, I have to find where it is, but I think that might be my next one. It seems appropriate given the circumstances, and I did want to read it. And I'm kind of sad, and this is how I'm going to grieve the loss of one of my teenage crushes, I suppose. So that'll be happening. Otherwise, I guess that is it. I will be back for Vlogmas. I'm not sure what the format of that will look like, and I might try to get a regular podcast out ahead of that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, essentially once Halloween is over, I know there's a whole other holiday in between for us in the States, and I do love me some Thanksgiving. But essentially November 1st, jingle jangle Christmas music for like 24 days. Thanksgiving, more leaves, all the pilgrims, and then back to the jingle jangle Christmas theme. So that'll be me moving forward. I'm really excited. And yeah, once this presentation is over today, I'm going to go full throttle into holiday mode. So I will definitely be back for Vlogmas. Keep in touch. And like I said, I will try to be back in between with a regular podcast where I hopefully actually make progress on the things that I'm working on. And I don't know, I hope you enjoyed Vlogtober. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I love interacting with all of you and talking about everything going on. And yeah, I guess I'll be back soon. Thanks for joining me on this journey, as they say on The Bachelor, and I will see you soon. Bye.